solid $3 million to work with instead of having all these fees come out.
So,
I'm sorry.
so what you're saying is if we get the 3, public works has to come out of the 3, so the whole 3 wouldn't go toward the streets. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. If we do the $3 million, we probably look at $70-some thousand coming out of attorney fees, bond attorney. My calculations would be about $70,000 alone, based on the last three that we borrowed.
Any other discussion on the substitute motion? All in favor, raise your hand so I can see. 4. All against? 2. Okay, 4 to 2 is to borrow $3.2 million.
I'd like to make a motion to add one additional item to the agenda.
Well, I'm headed there. You'll notice on in front of you, there's an addendum. There are 6 items there, and you want to add a 7th item?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me your item.
Discussion on section 2-117 of the city's code of ordinances. 2-117.
Okay. You have a list of items there for an addendum. There are now 7 with that recommendation. Can I get a motion and a second to amend the agenda to include these 7 items?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay.
Nay.
5-1. Okay. First one reads, consider approving the payment of $225 for the public hearing notice that was ran in the newspaper on Friday, July the 19th, 2019 for the Mississippi Home Corporation grant. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Yes, sir.
How big was it?
It was for $500,000.
How big was the article?
I think it's only 3 by 6. This is nice size,
How much would it have been to send it to everybody, like we do the water bills?
This is a requirement for the
Is it
grant.
required?
Yeah, this is required for the grant. It has to.
It has to be in the
Yes.
newspaper. It has to be in the newspaper, or do everybody have to get it?
Has to be published
I'm
in the
just trying to
newspaper.
figure out a way of not putting it in the newspaper.
Okay, any other questions? No other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay.
Nay.
Okay. 5-1. Nay was Selectman Thomas. Consider approving a resolution to submit an application to Mississippi Home Corporation, MHC, for the Home Investment Partnership Program for the 2019 Homeowner Rehabilitation / Reconstruction Grant. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
Rob, Hill, second. Discussion. No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay.
Nay.
5-1.
Mayor,
Yes.
could one of you guys explain exactly what this is?
This is a grant that came before us under Smith & Smith to rehab homes, but this one is rehabbing up to 50,000 And it's for low-income people who have not been able to afford the repairs to their homes.
Gotcha. I was wondering, you might actually let me tell us a question about why you don't want to see this for the city of McComb?
Go ahead, Selectman Hill.
Is there something that we should know, Selectmen, tell us
I
about?
think we
Is
can
this
afford
a
the
bad
money.
grant?
We can't afford the money.
How much money we putting up?
No. It was understood up front, no money to write the grant. All the money, the administrative cost is in the grant. So there's nothing that we will lose except paying for the newspaper notice and stuff like that.
Is there anything that we should know, Selectmen, tell us that might not be given, or why you don't support this?
I've answered you.
Okay.
Number three.
Sorry for the stuff.
Number three, consider approving the advertisement to publish a newspaper for request for qualification. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
That was Brock, right?
Correct.
John. Okay, discussion. Number three, consider approving.
For what?
For request for qualification.
For what?
To, administer the grant. To administer the grant.
Okay, it doesn't say right here what's on here. So in the minutes, it says request for qualification. So if somebody else came back and read that, they wouldn't have a clue what that was.
You wouldn't have work session.
I'm not worried about work session.
Okay. Let's get back to this request for qualification to administer the grant.
Thank you. Here again, the grant is pretty vague too. I mean, shouldn't it say the Mississippi Home Corporation grant? If somebody reads these minutes, 10 years from now, they're not gonna have a clue.
Can we just make that language there? Do we need to restate the motion?
I'm going to restate the motion. Okay. Consider approving the advertisement published in the newspaper for request for qualification, RFQ, to administer the Mississippi Home Cooperation Grant. Do we have any other, do I need to get a motion again? We already have it, Brock and John.
Same motion.
Okay. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Okay. Nay from, Selectman Toller. Consider approving an affirmative marketing policy for the city of McComb City. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
Brock, second. Once, twice, died without a second. This is something that we had to do in order for the grant now. So if we don't do this, we can't do the grant. So it died, so we may as well not consider the other. Number 5. Number 6, yes.
Nobody been second?
Oh, can we go back to it?
Honestly,
I thought somebody said.
no, I zoned out thinking, why wouldn't somebody want to support this to improve our city? So I zoned out for about whatever time, because it helps us at the root of our problem of our city, and it disgustes me that someone doesn't want to help the city improve. This is the reason, like when businesses come look at our city, this is what some of the stuff they look at. And it bothered me when I was growing up. Like, you've been there for a while, and you was in leadership when I was a kid, and now I look at the city now and I see why. So I'm sorry, I zoned out.
I'd like to make a motion to reconsider number 4, consider approving an affirmative marketing policy for the city of Macomb City.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion to reconsider number 4. It was motion by Selectman Johnson, second by Selectman Brown. Discussion. No discussion? Brown?
Can we get a show of hands for the sir?
We will get a show of hands. Okay. All in favor, would you please raise your hand? Okay, we have 4. All opposed, raise your hand. 2. Motion carried. Consider approving a resolution in support of minority and women business enterprises policy statement. Need a motion and second.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Johnson, Brown. Discussion.
Mayor,
Yes.
do you know how many minority businesses we have in the city of Macomb, on top of your head?
No, top of my head.
Anybody know the welding shop across the street, across the bridge, that they're redoing now?
Oh, I can't think of the
Is it
name.
McComb Welding?
I think that's McComb Welding. Alice, we use them to make grates for, that's McComb Welding, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
You say correct.
Okay,
Did that used to be a minority business?
I'm not sure.
Hadn't been for 3 or 4 years. Unless it was in a woman's name, but it wasn't in my.
Yeah, it was under female name, lady's name.
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? No other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
Nay.
Number 6, consider ratifying the payment of $1,251.99 for electrical work that was done on Summer Street for future activities.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Brown? Hill? Second. Discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Number 7, discuss Section 2-117 of the Macomb Code of Ordinance. Motion and a second.
So moved.
Brown. Second, Williams. Discussion time.
Here is the proposed draft. That was recommended, and I need some feedback from the board. I think this one here, you need one.
She got one.
Okay. And I have, oh, we do, definitely. And somebody can have mine if you need it.
I think everybody got one.
Okay. So I didn't know if this is the direction that the board wanted to go, and if not, then we can go back and make some changes.
While the board is considering this, just a question for the mayor. Do you see a need to change this?
Change what?
This ordinance?
I don't see a need to change anything, but that's the board's decision. Because it's gonna be a domino effect if you don't know about it. When you start changing things, it's gonna be a domino effect. So when this domino effect starts, just understand it's due to the changes that you all are making.
What do you mean by that?
When you take superintendent authority, who's gonna supervise the CA? And you're not gonna cherry pick what the mayor will and will not do. You cannot, even though you may delegate something to me to do, that doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. Because once you take superintendent authority away, there's nobody to supervise the CA.
I mean, I'm just trying to.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
that's one domino effect, that once you
And that's
start-
why I asked you your opinion, because I'm really just trying to figure out where we're going, and I've never been here before, and so I'm just trying to make
It
the best.
reminds me of Jack Patterson's here when they took years away.
I just want to bring that up, but I wasn't here then, and I'm just trying to make a good, sound decision, and I'm just trying to understand where we're going. So, during that period of time, I think you were the city administrator when they took the power away from Mayor Patterson. So what specific powers did you have that the mayor didn't have?
I didn't have none.
So they took the power away from the mayor and they didn't get it.
The board had to sign checks, the board had to sign contracts, the board had to do a whole lot of things
Because the mayor refused.
because the mayor refused.
But they gave the superintendent authority to the city administrator.
It exists in the hands of the board.
Can you give me a copy of the charter? I'm just trying to find I'm honestly trying to find my way through this. What?
Let's just get down to it. What are we trying to do here?
Take superintendent authority away from the mayor, which is the chain of command. And I'm the chief executive officer for the board, for the city. Also, I am the leader of the board because I am a part of the board. So you take the authority away from supervising, you're changing the chain of command.
So as I read the charter, and that's why I'm asking him to go get it now. As of now, the superintendent authority when it comes to officers of the city, which are the chief of police, city clerk, municipal judge, tax collector, assessor, which doesn't exist, and the city attorney, they are supervised by the mayor, and that power is not delegated to the city administrator, the way the ordinance reads now. Am I correct, attorney?
Correct.
So that's what you're trying to change? The super?
Oh, no, that's a decision for the board to make. I'm actually just trying to see what exactly this is gonna do and where it's going. And so, Mayor, you don't see any problems with power with this, correct?
I don't see any problem the way it is because if you understand the chain of command, there's always somebody who supervises somebody.
Okay.
Okay? And people of the same level cannot supervise one another.
And so, when you say that, you mean the city administrator is hired by the board, so he's basically equal to the chief of police, city clerk, all of them, correct?
That's right, because who do they answer to? Who hires and fires them?
The board.
Okay,
No, that's why they're supervised by the mayor.
that's correct.
Okay, so let me ask you this. The CA is responsible for the day-to-day operations, correct?
Mhm.
So if the chief of police gets out of line and you suspend him, and the city administrator says, well, no, I don't want my chief of police suspended, what do we do in cases like that?
Understand, if I suspend someone, it says in the charter, at the next regular board meeting, I bring it to the board.
So
Now, I think that's getting to the meat of the thing here. Now, if that stops there, that's fine. If the chief is drunk and you suspend him, fine, bring it to the board. But we're talking about day-to-day operations, interfering with this thing. I think that's the problem right there. Who supervises? I think this board supervises administrator.
On day-to-day operation, I primarily supervise because you all are not here.
Is that by choice? By choice?
That's by the superintendent authority that I have.
I'm not looking at it, but I thought the superintendent's
I'm asking.
authority was to suspend department heads. I mean, we can't have two.
It's not just the superintendent authority does not just go with suspension.
Okay. But the mayor is one member of the board, correct?
I'm a member of the board, but I'm the head of the board.
Okay, but we didn't say head, what do you mean head? As far
I mean,
as,
I'm the head. There's no president of the board. I am, if you want to call the president of the board, I am the president of the board because
Correct.
I'm the mayor.
to explain strong board, weak mayor.
Strong board, weak mayor simply means that primarily that the mayor has the right to hire, fire, he has veto power, all that. In a weak mayor board, the mayor controls, the mayor, well, you got to know whether or not it's what the board consists of, 5, 6 members, but I'm a part of a 7-member board. And the authority here, I don't have the authority to veto. I don't have the authority to hire and fire.
I'll get somebody else from here.
Who asked the attorney to make these changes?
The board did,
The board did. Majority of the board.
the majority of the board.
Legend.
Okay, so, I'm looking at the charter. The charter doesn't address, the mayor's authority specifically. It talks about the specific powers of the board of mayor and selectmen, and it puts the mayor as a member of the board to preside over our meetings. And it talks about we make all police regulations, we regulate the crossing of railroads, to issue bonds and sell them, levy and collect taxes. So let's go over to the code of ordinances. It's going to be in the administration section. Just bear with me, please. So 2-17 was repealed on 6/9/2009, and then was returned to original description of powers of mayor on 8/9/16. So the part that was repealed was, it was repealed to this: it says any officer of the city violating any of such officer's official obligations of being charged with culpable official neglect or of duty with official incompetency shall be suspended from office by the city administrator, who shall appoint a person to fill the office for the time being, and without necessary delay report charges with such action to the governing body. So 2-17 is amended to provide as follows, and they amended the entire section of the duties and powers of the mayor. It says 2-7 of the official code of ordinances, duties and powers of the mayor is hereby expressly repealed in its entirety. And it gave 2-115 read is amended as follows: there is hereby created the office of the city administrator, who shall be appointed by the governing body. The administrator shall serve at the will and pleasure of the governing body. Before taking office, the administrator shall furnish a fidelity bond in the amount of $50,000, conditioned upon faithful performance of official duties. Said bond being the corporation licensed to do business in the state as a surety. Such bonds shall be filed with the city clerk after being approved by the governing body. Amendment number 5 to that read that the city administrator shall hire and discharge all employees other than department heads and those required by the charter of the city of state law to be hired by the board of mayor and selectmen, chief of police, city clerk, municipal judge, tax collector, assessor, and all other appointed positions by the board. The city administrator shall advise and consult with the board of mayor and selectmen and make recommendations as to the hiring or discharging of officers pursuant to the charter of the city of state. All employees or officers so hired shall perform their duties subject to the supervision and direction of the city administrator or that of the superior to whom the city administrator may assign such employee, provided that the city administrator may delegate to any other official or employee the authority to hire, discharge, employees. The administrator shall be responsible for developing or having developed detailed job descriptions for all city jobs, and it goes on to talk about other jobs and compensations. So when they repealed the mayor's powers in 2009, they gave all this authority to you, correct? No. Didn't you just read it said except those that are appointed and department heads. You just read it.
Look at it. It was repealed.
No, you just read said the CA shall hire and fire all all that except.
No, it says the city administrator shall hire and discharge all employees other than the part. This was the part.
Let me finish. This was the part that was reinstated on 8/9/16. I'm just saying.
Right, that was
CA other than that
correct.
board appoints.
That's how it is.
hire. That's how it is now. But on 6/9/2009, they repealed that. They took it away from
The mayor and gave that to the city administrator.
No, they did not. They could not. They could not do that because there's separation of powers, executive and legislative. Okay.
Well, Mayor, I'm telling you,
And I'm telling you, I did not have that.
I'm not going to argue with you about
Agree to
it.
disagree. City Attorney, what do you say?
How did that go out now?
Selectman Hill, very good question. I was just commenting to Selectman Hill. So, we had a discussion about this earlier. I was asked to make some changes. I had previously asked some questions so that I could get some clarification procedurally about, in some instances, how certain technicalities may work. After that discussion, the membership seems to think that everything would work out fine, and that's fine with me. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing in accordance with what the majority of the board wanted. So that's why we have this proposal.
Question. Mayor Lockwood, what is your day-to-day activities here at City Hall?
Oh, I come in and do basically research and call and talk to different agencies and things like that.
Okay, do we have department heads that they report to you or the city administrator?
Department heads report to him.
City administrator.
Mm-hmm.
So he's their immediate supervisor.
He's their immediate supervisor. That's correct.
Okay, so when do you kick in, use your superintendent power, would you say?
I very seldom use superintendent power. Very seldom.
Well, can you give me an example when you think, you've been here long enough, when you think you would use it?
I did use it with the fire chief. When I asked the fire chief to come up to my office, anytime.
Can we talk about this one?
Yeah.
This person there, right?
No, this is not personnel.
Okay, gotcha.
Uh-uh.
All right.
The fire chief had submitted his letter of resignation to Mr. Butler.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Wait a minute.
I mean.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I don't want us to get into personnel matters regarding, other employees.
Right.
Okay.
I've seen no problem with the process as is.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to take this to executive session. And the last statement that was made had nothing to do with the fire chief. I guess, think you were just using that for an example.
Yes.
Second.
If it's relating to the ordinance is not a personnel matter.
Well, we're gonna discuss it, but it's,
If the ordinance, if you're talking about amending the ordinance is not a personnel matter. That is a matter that has to be discussed in open.
can you give us some other examples then when you use superintendent authority?
Like I said, very seldom. The only time I can say I use it is when I would pick up the telephone and call a department head to come to my office.
Or something that they're not performing their duties?
Superintendent authority, yes.
So you had department heads to report to
I've
you for
only
not,
had one to report to me about.
for not doing their job?
That's correct.
But this was an issue that you didn't bring to the board.
I did bring it to the board.
Because I want to know who we back to the same thing, you know, I'm gonna ask the question, who is it? So here we are again. I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session.
To discuss a matter of personnel.
Okay. Is motion, second.
But is this about personnel or is this about?
I'm trying to figure out if it's about the ordinance or it's about personnel.
I think the ordinance is getting into personnel. I mean, unless we want to air out specifics in the public.
Section 2-117, duties as to personnel. What else do we need?
It sounds as though, based on the questions that I'm hearing, some of the answers may be regarding specific employees and job duties or job performance, which need to be discussed in executive session. And especially if it has to do with job performance, some action that may have been taken that we have not necessarily discussed out in the public. And there is a way to bifurcate this discussion from the ordinance so that we are adhering to the statute. But definitely, if it's about a specific employee, about his or her job performance, then that should be in executive session.
And it's getting into that.
Chief,
May I be recognized?
I'm recognizing you.
So, I just want to clarify what you and I discussed. Because right now, as it stands, if you go in executive session, this matter isn't settled. The headline tomorrow will be Fire Chief Resigns. That's where we left this at. But that's not the whole story, and I want to make sure that the whole story is out there. So, yes, some time ago, I did tender my resignation. The mayor called me and asked me, and attorney, am I within my right to clarify this matter? Because I don't believe it's going to be a personnel matter in the sense that you're thinking.
Since it's about you, Fire Chief, if you want to clarify it, but I can assure you that there are going to be other questions that the board members have about this particular matter. It really does need to be discussed in executive session.
We call them back there.
Right.
We call them back there.
It really does, and if they have any questions, they can call you back, but it's something private about your job performance that really should be discussed, or what
That's
happened.
actually what I'm trying to clarify. And
Okay.
Mayor, if I may, you correct me if I'm wrong, our discussion was not related to my job performance.
Not at all.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
And so if I may continue.
Sure.
I will say that the mayor and I discussed the reasons that I had tendered my resignation. And he asked for the opportunity to address some of the issues that I outlined. And he did exactly that. And because of the actions of the mayor and the board of mayor and selectmen, I withdrew my resignation. So I wanted to be perfectly clear that as long as the board of mayor and selectmen will have me, I am still on the job as the fire chief. I wanted to make that clear because the way it was left just a moment ago, that I'm telling you, the headline would have been fire chief resigns over performance issues. That's where we were headed, and this was not about.
That's how the paper do you, chief.
So, I just wanted to clarify that, thank you.
All right, well, if there's no need for the executive session, unless, I mean, I'm gonna leave that up to the board. If you have some other issues that you need to discuss,
There was
then
a
y'all
motion
let me
and a
know.
We're still in the discussion part. Yeah, I haven't voted, I have not taken it to a vote. Yeah, I
You're
think
still in the discussion part about what?
going into the executive session.
Okay, and so typically that happens in a closed meeting. I mean, that's usually done, it's not done out in the public. I mean, that's a board determination that you and the board do in a closed session, and then after the board makes its determination, then an announcement is made to the public. I mean, the board doesn't sit here and discuss in public whether or not it needs to go into executive session.
But you've got to determine whether or not you
But-
have the right issue to go into
Yes, you
executive
do,
session.
Mayor.
And my thing is it's
You
relating
do.
to the ordinance.
But Mayor, the board has to make that determination. The board makes that determination.
But you have to discuss that out here, whether or not you
Mayor,
have.
we have gone into executive session week after week after
Close
week. The board has
determination.
not done that out here. The board has not done that out here.
We have been advised by our city administrator that we need to go back there and determine if we have the right decision to be in executive session. If we don't, we come back out. If we do, we stay in.
I mean, we have
Okay.
always gone, the board, you would call the
Somebody call
board
the
to
vote.
the back, and then if the board feels that it needs to make that determination, so be it. If not, they can come back out here.
Okay. Executive session.
I'd like to make a motion to go into closed determination.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
42.
To include the city administrator and city attorney.
Hey, Selectman Brown.